Hey guys, today I want to talk about how you can get started building your own guitar pedal at home. So I've had this question quite a few times from some of my buddies. How do they get into making guitar pedals? How do I make mine? And what I could suggest to get them started. The best thing I can say for anybody who hasn't done anything like this before is get online, find yourself a dealer who will sell you a do-it-yourself kit. These are great. You can select what you want, whether it be tremolos, overdrives, distortions. They have everything you need. They'll send you a package with all the components you need. They'll send you a PCB usually like this that you'll take those components and you'll populate the board with. You'll get your enclosures, your control knobs, everything. They usually come with some documentation where it'll tell you maybe a little bit about what the effect is and how to put it together. The other good thing with DIY kits is you usually don't need to invest in a lot of tools. You can really just start with your solder and soldering iron and you'll be good to go. Now there's some problems with the DIY kits. Some people won't be able to be as creative with them, so you can't really change the circuits on a PCB. You can't, swap out components if you don't have some components to choose from. If you want to try different op amps in an overdrive circuit, you're basically stuck with what they provide you. The other thing too is they provide you with components, but only the ones you need. So if you break anything along the way or something's missing, you're going to have to source those components yourself, whether it be from the manufacturer that you got the kit from or from an online retailer or local shop. Now, if you want to take it a little bit further and give yourself more of a challenge, you can look at building from the board up. Here you could easily just go online and buy a PCB and populate that out by components that you source yourself. This gives you a little bit more flexibility in what components you use to populate the board. So, changing resistor values, capacitor values, op amps, stuff like that you wouldn't be able to do if you just bought a kit. If you don't want to do a PCB and you want to get into making your own boards, there's lots of sites out there that will provide circuits for strip board and barrel board. So strip board is something like this, where you have pre-drilled holes and all the columns are lined with copper, or I guess it's rows in this case. Or you have barrel board, which is like this, where each circle is enclosed in copper. So this is for point-to-point connections. If you're really looking to move on from that, I would say this is less of a beginner thing. You could go to copper clad and etching. So copper clad looks like this, which is essentially just copper sheet on one side, plastic on the other. Here you're going to have to etch out your own circuit from the copper and do all the drilling yourself. So you're going to need a lot more tools, and I would say this is maybe for more the advanced pedal builder. Now there's different tools you're going to need depending on what kind of build you're doing. For a DIY kit, you're really just going to need a soldering iron. So this is mine here, $40 on Amazon. It works great. You're also going to need some solder to go along with it. And really, you can probably get even a cheaper soldering iron. You just want to make sure it gets hot enough to melt your solder. I've used an old Black & Decker one for years before I bought that one. So some other tools that I would consider optional, but you probably want them before you need them, starting with your multimeter. So this is a great tool for checking resistor values, checking voltages in your circuits, and just checking for connections. They're great for troubleshooting. Besides the multimeter, you're going to want some end cutters and some needle nose pliers. You can usually get these two things in a set of 4 different pliers and cutters. $14, $15 maximum you can usually find them on sale for, and they're great to have. Some wire strippers. Invest in a good set of these. I've had a couple of bad sets. They're maybe $8, $10 worth having rather than trying to maybe strip out the sides with your cutters. So with enclosures, you can get a lot of different varieties in them. You can buy them something like this, where they're raw, undrilled, and you've got to do all the work yourself. Maybe not exactly what you're looking for if you're just getting into building pedals. One thing that I usually purchase is the powder coated boxes. So a lot of my pedals will have this white powder coat, and then I decal over top of them. Now I don't buy pre-drilled boxes because I tend to buy these in bulk before I know what pedal I'm going to build, but you can buy these pre-drilled, and it would definitely be advantageous if you're just getting started. You wouldn't need to invest in any vices or drill presses, you know, and it really just makes the process a lot easier if you know what your control layout is going to be. So I hope that helps you guys getting started in building your pedals. You know, if you have any questions, definitely let me know, and I guess I'll talk to you next week. Thanks, guys.